How hard is it to give up smoking cigarettes? In this video, you're going to find out how omega-3 fatty acids can help you give up smoking cigarettes and play a vital role in you being able to kick the habit. Take it away, Harry.
One of the hardest things for people to give up is smoking. Smoking cigarettes is addictive, and as with any addiction, it takes a tremendous amount of willpower and lifestyle changes to rid yourself of smoking or to kick the habit. And here's just a few of the reasons why people find it so hard to quit. 1. It raises their stress levels. 2. It makes them irritable, and 3. They can't think as clearly. Now, when you think about it, and observe the actions of smokers, it's quite noticeable that a smoker is having to rely on nicotine to stay calm in stressful situations. And have you noticed at social events, that smokers seem a lot more relaxed than non-smokers? For a smoker to recognize that they must give up smoking, there are very few treatments, if any, that can provide an easy fix. People use psychiatrists and other professional services to help give up smoking. Others use nicotine patches to help the body to reduce its reliance on nicotine. Such solutions have very limited successful results in turning a smoker into a dedicated and committed non-smoker. Even the overwhelming evidence that smoking causes cancer and other serious and terminal illnesses isn't enough to force people to give up smoking. However, studies on the impact and connection between omega-3 fatty acids and cigarette smoking have shown some encouraging results. In Israel, experiments and tests have shown that smokers who took omega-3 fatty acids over a period of 30 days had a noticeable reduction in 1. Their cigarette cravings, and 2. The number of cigarettes smoked per day. It follows, therefore, that two main benefits of increasing your omega-3 fatty acids intake allow 1. The clogging in your blood vessels to be reduced, thereby reducing the risk of a heart attack, and 2. Your brain function to improve, and helps as a mood enhancer by the brain secreting a natural compound called serotonin, known as the happy drug, thereby staving off the downward mood swings most smokers suffer with when trying to give up smoking. So, if research has shown that omega-3 fatty acids can play a significant role in helping people to give up smoking, it begs the question, why are the general public not being told, in the same way that nicotine patches are advertised on national television, for example? Whilst you can't rely on just a single, or a small handful of experiments and tests to give conclusive results, the initial findings are encouraging, and it will be nice to know that further testing is going on all the time, although publications and findings seem to be few and far between. It does seem a little puzzling that more is not made of these results from the University of Haifa in Israel, and from other tests and experiments around the world. When you consider that omega-3 fatty acids can actually help people give up smoking, there are a number of possible reasons why most people are being kept in the dark. 1. The cigarette manufacturers wield sufficient power to keep such information away from the public, plus selling cigarettes to the unsuspecting public is a big revenue tax earner for governments, who are quite happy to turn a blind eye. 2. The mainstream media are ignorant to the benefits of omega-3 fatty acids. Let's face it, if their advertising revenues are from the big food manufacturers and drugs companies, then they're not going to report on the damage the processed foods are causing to everyone's long-term health, are they? 3. The makers of the nicotine patches are owned by the main pharmaceutical manufacturers that produce the drugs and medicines that service the world's population, 95% of whom are out of balance as a consequence of consuming processed foods, in terms of their omega-6 to omega-3 ratios. 4. The medical profession are either ignorant, or are complicit in the way they practice. Their priority is to provide medication, which satisfies big pharma, rather than to cure your habit. The longer people are on medication, the more revenue made by the drug manufacturers. The prospect of actually curing the smoking addiction is not in the interest of big pharma or the medical companies and doctors, or the governments, who all benefit financially in this complicit cover-up. So, if you're trying to give up smoking, consider increasing your omega-3 fatty acids intake, to help reduce your cravings and to relax and reduce stress naturally. One way to do that is to start eating oily fish, such as wild salmon, and by taking quality omega-3 supplements. The question, though, is how much omega-3 fatty acids does your body require to help you to eventually give up smoking cigarettes? If you're serious about your health on a cellular and nutritional level anyway, then there's only one way to find out what your current omega-6 to omega-3 balance reading is. This is so that you can 1. Establish the amount of omega-3 fatty acids your body requires to get into balance. 2. Help combat the nicotine cravings at the same time. 3. Improve your blood flow, and help reduce the clogging in your arteries and blood vessels, caused by the smoking. 4. Improve your overall brain health, and 5. Maintain and improve your immune system. Check out a short questionnaire to see if you qualify by clicking on the URL link in the description box below this video. We hope you found this video helpful and, in many ways, thought-provoking. After all, it's your health we're talking about. In the next video in this two-part series, we're going to be just as frank about omega-3 fatty acids and another form of smoking, which can be just as deadly. Until then, bye for now.